Testing.
Okay. How's that sound? Can you hear me, Vic?
What's that? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Okay.
Testing. 1, 2.
That's good.
Is that okay? From the Chocolate Mountains to the Sea of Cortez, all along the border on a Friday night, this is exciting Imperial Valley football on VSN Sports.net, the Valley Sports Network, the source for Imperial Valley sports, highlighting our student athletes throughout the Imperial Valley. For John Moreno, this is Vic Carrillo at Shimamoto Simpson Stadium as the Imperial Tigers welcome the visiting Cibola Raiders from Yuma, Arizona in their home opener. The Imperial Tigers, after opening up the season with a 28-7 scrimmage victory at El Capitan High School in Lakeside 3 weeks ago, had a bye week when everybody else was kicking off their official season, and then last Friday they traveled to Santee in eastern San Diego County, and after taking an early lead of 7-0 in the first half, they fell behind and lost 21-7 to the powerful West Hill football team. So, ladies and gentlemen, we welcome the voice of choice, the real deal, your friend and mine, Johnny Mo, John Moreno Brown.
Well, thanks a lot for that introduction, Vic. You know, it's good to be here at Imperial, the Tigers.
Keep going.
And the Tigers and Calexico. But go ahead, I've got some technical difficulties you got to adjust.
Well, John, tonight's game is being officiated by the Imperial Valley Officials Association, led by J.J. Jackson, and he'll be teamed up with Sal Carrillo along with Benny Carter, to name a few. Tonight's captains for both squads, the visiting Cibola Raiders, have number 8, George Garcia, number 32, Damian Magana, and number 53, representing the Cibola Raiders squad as captains for tonight's ball game. It's their season opener as they journey into the Imperial Valley to kick off their season. They come off a 4-game schedule of last year in the fall of 2020 as numerous games were canceled due to the pandemic of COVID-19, whereas the Imperial Tigers, as they come out onto the field, went 3-2 in an abbreviated season played in the spring. The Imperial captains will be Devon Mesa, number 3, number 55, Aiden Shields, Jeremiah Naylor, number 23, along with number 1, Jesse Nichols, all seniors representing the Imperial Tigers. So the Imperial Tigers, coached by David Shaw, the Cibola Raiders, coached by Steve Fritz.
Tonight's game is brought to you by Burgers and Beer. For the best burgers in town, it's Burgers and Beer at 260 North Imperial Avenue in El Centro. Open 7 days a week and serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Burgers and Beer is a place to watch the big game. Great food and great service. That's Burgers and Beer. And by Ivy Welding and Mechanical, industrial welding contractor. For all your heavy metal needs, Ivy Welding incorporates welding techniques to build high-quality systems that exceed client expectations. Call Fred Baeza at 760-482-WELD, W-E-L-D. That's Ivy Welding and Mechanical in El Centro. And we're going to rise for the playing of our national anthem and honoring America.
between 4 and 9 p.m., and turning off all unnecessary lighting. But there's more. IID provides a number of summer energy-saving opportunities to help you make the most of your energy savings efforts. Check out our tips and energy saving guides at IID.com. Let's work together to stay cool and save energy this summer.
Come back and give you some of his from the Chocolate Mountains to the Sea of Cortez.
Out of the gun, looking over the middle, way deep. Pass is caught by number 21. Touchdown.
Right, he gives us 6 out of 10. That's the 4. Just cuts back, he's at the 4.
Wolfgang Horner going at 6'2", 305 pounds, receiving early college interest, primarily on his play as he's a returning All-Imperial Valley League performer from last year, and his heft. The tackles will be Ethan Blanchett and Ethan Reeves. So the Ethans will be holding down the corners of that offensive line. And it's a good one, John.
Let's talk about Coach David Shaw.
Okay, well, David Shaw just finishing his second season with the Imperial Tigers. He's an administrator in the Calipatria School District. But John, he was a standout athlete here for Imperial back when he played in the day. He was an all-league quarterback, a southpaw. He was an all-league basketball player and an all-league baseball player. Played at the collegiate level, went and furthered his studies, and now has come back to his alma mater to lead the football team here in the 2021 season.
You know, from when Coach Segura had it, that we ran a spread offense. So I think they did a great job, and I was also on that staff. I coached defensive backs for Coach Segura, but the offensive staff did a great job of developing receivers, running backs. So it was an easy transition. I like to run a spread offense. I like to run an up-tempo offense and try to go fast. And that's what they did. So it really was an easy transition from Coach Segura to myself as far as offense goes. So.
Who's kicking off? And we are underway with a end-over-end kick fielded at about the 20. And that's number 24. That's Seth Shaw coming down the near sideline, turning around, spins, and goes out of bounds after he crosses midfield and into the 35-yard line. And they'll spot it right about there.
Well, it was a Freddie Hernandez.
But there's a flag on the play, Vic.
Well, John, kicking off for the Cibola Raiders was number 35, Freddie Hernandez, a 5'10", 160-pound sophomore, kicking it deep inside the 20 of the Tigers. And Seth Shaw, with his elusive running ability and running style, John, one of the stellar athletes for the Imperial Tiger offense and defense, showed his craft as he was able to run up the middle and get out to the outside before he was pushed out of bounds inside the 35-yard line by number 19 for the Cibola Raiders, and that was Angel Salcedo. But a penalty nullifying the extra yardage that was gained as he crossed midfield. So Benny Carter walking off the penalty yardage. So the Tigers will start their opening series at their own 35-yard line. They're going left to right here on a beautiful night and beautiful stadium named after Shimamoto and Simpson, two stellar community members that contributed to the Imperial athletic glory.
1st and 10 from the 35. That's Turnin. Takes it out of the shotgun. Hands it off the middle to Shaw. Seth Shaw gets about 5. He'll take it up to about the 40. So Seth Shaw taking the handoff for the first play of the game and picks up 5 yards. It'll bring up a 2nd and 5 for the Imperial Tigers.
Defensively for the Cibola Raiders, they go with outside linebacker Angel Salcedo. The inside defensive linemen are Matthew Hogan, Alejandro Barbosa Zavala, and Scott Britt. The other outside linebacker on their near side is number 36, Alex Purnell. We'll give you the linebackers and defensive backs after this play.
2nd and 5 from the 40. Turnin again gives it down the middle. Number 24, Seth Shaw, again will pick up 4 as he goes right up the middle this time. And the Tigers are faced with a 3rd and short. The ball will be just inside of the 45-yard line at the 44.
He was brought down immediately by defensive lineman Noé Mesa, number 57. Only a junior.
3rd and short. Cibola showing blitz. Again, another handoff to Shaw. Gets the first down and more. He'll take it up pretty close to midfield. He'll pick up 4 again. So giving it up the middle to Shaw on the first 3 plays gets a first down. 1st and 10 Imperial. No huddle offense.
Number 30, Roberto Castañeda, a middle linebacker, there to make the touch tackle.
A bad snap to Turnin, and he has to make do with a broken play. He'll lose some yardage on there.
Offensively, the Tigers go with Ethan Blanchett and Ethan Reeves at tackles. The guards are Wolfgang Horner and Diego Valencia, the center, who was responsible for that center snap in shotgun formation. Victor Cesena, 6 foot, 225 pounds.
So 2nd and 16 for the Tigers. The ball at about the 42-yard line. Turnin.
That sun is going down. Now we can see the
out of the gun again. Handoff to Shaw. This time Cibola didn't fool them, and Shaw is brought down right at the line of scrimmage.
That was number 8, George Garcia, a 5'11", 185-pound linebacker. Also doubles on the offensive end as a running back. And their coach, Stephen Fritz, had a lot of accolades regarding George Garcia, saying that he would be the workhorse tonight, both on offense and defense.
So 3rd and long for the Tigers, Vic, at their own 42-yard line. C.J. Turnin in the backfield out of the gun. 1 lone setback. 3 receivers here to the near side. 9:13 to go first quarter, no score. Dropping back. Looks left side. Shooting for Shaw, incomplete. And the Tigers will have to be faced with a 4th and long, and the punt team comes out.
Well, that was number 19 covering on the play for the Raiders, Angel Salcedo. And as a result, trying to throw over his extended arms was the quarterback, C.J. Turnin, and he overthrew his receiver. Return man number 6, that's Zach Stoltz, 5'8", 160-pounder, standing inside his own 30.
A nice punt. It'll take a Cibola bounce. It'll be downed inside the 30 at the 28. The Cibola Raiders will take over 1st and 10.
That was number 29 downing the football for the Raiders, Zach Ray. So the Cibola Raiders, under the tutelage of Stephen Fritz, he's assisted by Ed Contreras, Brian Claudio, and Lucky Arvizu, who was a former head coach for the Raiders. And Stephen Fritz spent 13 years under his tutelage. Now this is his 3rd season as the head coach for Cibola, and the tables are reversed. Lucky being an able assistant to Stephen Fritz.
So 1st and 10 for the Raiders. Jesus Torres out of the gun, shoots it to the right side. Pass is caught in the right flat. And that is number 19. That's Angel Salcedo. We'll pick up a first down and move the ball about the 39-yard line. So a good yardage for the Cibola Raiders as we start their first series of play.
Defensively, the Tigers go with Brian Vasquez, Victor Cesena, Wolfgang Horner, and Diego Valencia up front. The linebackers are Daniel Riesgo, Ethan Reeves, Kai Bishop, and Jeremiah Naylor, along with Aiden Shields. The defensive backs are Seth Shaw and Devin Mesa.
So a handoff right up the middle to number 35 for the Cibola Raiders, Freddy Hernandez. Hernandez is met at the line of scrimmage and dropped for a loss, so it'll be now 2nd and 11 for the Cibola Raiders at their own 37.
Offensively, they go with Alonso Quintero at tight end, tackles Noel Mesa and Jonathan Chavez.
Torres hands off again
to George Garcia, and running behind the blocking of Noel Mesa and Angel Villanueva, not able to pick up much yardage as Wolfgang Horner, along with Diego Valencia and Jeremiah Naylor, in there to make the stop. Jeremiah Naylor, John, is a stud against the El Capitan football team.
A few weeks back, I remember.
Not only was he outstanding on defense, but when they put him in the second half at the running back, the Tigers were losing 7-0, and he led them to 28 second half points just on that hard running.
Torres out of the gun, decides to roll out to the right, looking for a receiver.
Putting pressure on the play in the offensive backfield was number 23, Jeremiah Naylor, 5'10", 190-pound senior, as the pass falls incomplete. Or was it a complete pass, John?
I think it was. They're moving it right up to the 49. I can't see who got it, but it'll be a first down for the Cibola Raiders. So 6:46 to go, first quarter, no score in the ball game. Cibola, 2 first downs already to their name in 3 plays.
The Raiders going right to left on your radio dial. They're wearing the white jerseys with black numerals and gold trim. The Tigers hosting this football game in all red uniforms with white numerals.
Torres, hands off to the big guy. And looks like number 8, George Garcia, goes right between guard and tackle. Will take it up a few, and looks like he got about 6 yards. So they're going to...
That was defensive lineman number 73, Victor Cesena, 6 foot, 225 pounds, making the tackle there, assisted by Naylor and Aiden Shields, the linebackers, but not till he picked up about 5 yards on the play.
So a 2nd and 5 for Cibola with Jesus Torres out of the shotgun and George Garcia in the backfield. Torres dropping back, looking, and almost intercepted by the Imperial Tigers. That is number 24, Seth Shaw.
Number 24, along with number 10, Victor Valenzuela, a 5'7", 150-pound junior, that were both overzealous in their efforts there, John. But nevertheless, a great defensive play as they denied the completion. And it's the 3rd and 5 for the Cibola Raiders, who hail from the beautiful city of Yuma, 55 miles to the east on Interstate 8.
So Jesus Torres out of the gun on a 3rd and 5. He's going to hand it off to his bread and butter, George Garcia, met at the line of scrimmage, stopped, dropped, big time by number 70.
Number 70, that's Wolfgang Horner, 6'2", 305-pound senior.
Sorry, 78, Vic.
78, that was Diego Valencia, still 6'2", but only 225 when you compare him to Wolfgang Horner. But the Imperial Tigers, one of their strengths, John, is up front with their defensive line in Vasquez, Cesena, Horner, and Valencia. Sounds like a law firm.
There you go. 4th and short, and they're 4th and about 5, and they're going to go for it. Cibola, Torres out of the gun, rolling out to the right, has pressure, and is sacked, and the Tigers take over right about midfield. So it'll be at the Cibola 49. Marianne Valenzuela is your State Farm insurance agent in the Imperial Valley. specializing in auto, home, business, property, and more. And with over 20 years of experience, Marianne will help figure out what coverage you need to take control of your financial future. Like a good neighbor, she's located at 122 Main Street in Brawley. Call Marianne Valenzuela State Farm Insurance Agent at 344-0447.
Okay, go ahead. Making that outstanding play there on sacking the quarterback on fourth down was number 32, John, Pablo Moreno, a junior linebacker, going at 5'11", 170 pounds.
So now we got Imperial, 1st and 10, inside their own 47-yard line with Turnin out of the gun, empty backfield.
A quarterback draw.
No, number 6, Turnin will keep it, go to the left side, and still on his feet and evading tacklers like crazy, will take it inside the 30.
Well, number 14, Andrew Bertonoli, had him trapped at the Raider 35-yard line, but a little juke move and a head fake, and C.J. Turnin was able to pick up some additional yardage before he was brought down.
Now he hands it off to Shaw on a 1st and 10 at the 29. Shaw picks up 6 yards.
Number 65, Alejandro Barbosa Zavala, who goes at 5'9", 260 pounds, playing the nose guard, making the tackle there. He's joined by Matthew Hogan, Angel Salcedo, and Scott Brick on the defensive front. The linebackers are Purnell, Magana, Garcia, and Freddie, and Jack Stoltz, and Berto Gonoli.
2nd and 4 from the 28. CJ turning out of the gun. Again, Shaw, this time met at the line of scrimmage, dropped by number 8 for the Cibola Raiders. That's George Garcia. No gain. In fact, perhaps a loss of a yard for that run attempt by Seth Shaw.
Well, the Raiders come in like a lot of high school teams do, John. Not a lot of large numbers standing on the sidelines. So a lot of their starters are going both ways, offensively and defensively. And Garcia making the most of the playing opportunity as he's a starting running back as well as a linebacker. And he's made his presence felt with 3:24 remaining here in the first quarter. No score in the ball game as of yet. This being the second offensive series for the Imperial Tigers, John. What do you see so far?
Well, I see the Tigers trying to get some rhythm going, and you know we saw that at the beginning, but that penalty on that kickoff kind of took some wind out of their sails. But they're still early in the game. Check out Top Notch Barbershop at 317 Wake Avenue in El Centro. Open 7 days a week, Monday through Saturday, 8 to 9, Sundays 8 to 5. Where our regular haircuts are always $20, and Wednesdays is our $15 special. Military and senior discounts offered every day. For the most in-depth and local regional news and the best high school sports coverage around, check out the Calexico Chronicle and the Hopeville Tribune in print or online at the all-new CalexicoChronicle.com, chronicling our community border region and beyond since 1904. And does your license plate frame say Robinson Ford? If it doesn't, go by Robinson Ford at 1777 North Imperial Avenue for the best-selling cars in the country, and check out the new Bronco for 2021. So a 3rd and about 5, the ball at the 28 for the Tigers. CJ turning out of the gun. He's got trips to the near side.
But he's got Naylor in the backfield, John. Watch this young man.
And Naylor's out there blocking, and so Turnin keeps the football, goes to the left side, runs out of bounds inside the 10. Will get a 1st down and more. He picks up about pretty close to 13, 14 yards. And the Tigers are now right at the 11, so it'll be 1st and 10 from the 11.
Well, that was outstanding line protection there, John, but also in the backfield, Jeremiah Naylor taking out 2 players on the defensive end, allowing Turin to scamper free on the left side. So they're inside the red zone, the ball just shy of the 10-yard line.
1st and 10, spread the offense. Turnin will take the snap, keep the ball, go to the right, take it to about the 10, and not much there, but he'll pick up a couple, maybe one.
Brought down by number 30, middle linebacker Roberto Castañeda, a junior, 5'11", 165.
2:27 and counting in this first quarter, no score. Second and about 9 from about the 10-yard line. So CJ and Shaw in the backfield. Shaw will take the handoff, go to the left side, outside tackle, and picks up another good 3-4 yards. And they'll probably take it to about the 5-yard line. It'll be 3rd and 5.
You know, Imperial drew first blood last week against West Hills, taking a 7-0 lead into the half, but then eventually losing 21-7. The tables were reversed in their opening scrimmage against El Capitan in Lakeside in early August, where they were behind at the half, 6-0, and then they came back with 28 unanswered points in the second half, keyed by Jeremiah Naylor and Seth Shaw's running.
3rd and 5. CJ turning, looking over the middle. Pass intended for
number 1.
Jesse Nichols, incomplete.
So Jesse Nichols, one of the senior captains for tonight's ball game, not able to make that catch.
So they'll go for the field goal, Vic. The ball at the 5 at 17, 22 yards.
And that's Ethan Gonzalez Lopez, a 6'1", 165-pound junior that handles the kicking duties. Tyran will be holding.
So a 22-yard attempt by the Tigers. The snap, the set, and the kick. And splits the upright. So Imperial gets on the board. Here with 1:15 to go in the first quarter, 3-0 Tigers. Have you earned your varsity letter? We'll get your Letterman jacket started today at lettermanandbros.com. Call Dan at 693-5034. That's 693-5034. Letterman's and Bro. And you need real estate services? Thinking of buying or selling a house? Wondering what your property's worth? Get top dollar on your investment. Call Marcus Ged, real estate broker offering professional, friendly service for over 27 years. Call for a free market quote at 357-9707. Ascare Realty, the mark of excellent. Brownie's Diner, located at 990 Main Street in Brawley. Brownie's Diner serves up good food with a Town Pup menu. Come by and savor delicious steak from Brant Beef or their famous chicken fried steak. At Brownie's Diner, you will leave satisfied. Call for takeout at 344-2938. Brownie's Diner in Brawley. Well, we're getting set for the kickoff. Number 13.
Ethan Gonzalez Lopez.
Ethan Gonzalez Lopez will be kicking off, and deep to receive for the Cibola Raiders, number 35. That is Freddy Hernandez. And number 6.
That's Zach Stoltz. He's a 5'8", 160-pound senior.
So Gonzalez Lopez getting set here late in the first quarter. Tigers up 3-0. And it'll go to Stoltz in his direction, and he'll pick it up inside the 5. Breaks a tackle coming forward, and still on his feet, fumbles the football.
Well, there were a couple of Imperial Tigers on the kickoff coverage team that had him inside the 10, but unable to come up with a tackle. And as a result, Stoltz able to get clear to the 15-yard line as we get set for the next offensive series of the Imperial Tigers, as they'll be led, the Raiders, as Jose Jesus Torres, the quarterback, will be leading them out of the huddle. He'll be joined by George Garcia, Angel Salcedo, Jack Stoltz, and Isaac Lopez as the skill set. Alonso Quintero, a 6'3", 210-pound tight end, will be manning the offensive line at the end.
So Torres out of the gun for the Raiders. Hands it off to the big guy, George Garcia. Trying to find a hole on the offensive line. Cannot. And so will be brought down right at the line of scrimmage. Will bring up a 2nd and 10 as George Garcia couldn't find any room to take that ball forward.
That was Victor Cesena along with Jeremiah Naylor and Aiden Shields there to make the stop as they put up a formidable wall that Garcia couldn't find any running lanes. And whoever controls the trenches, John, tonight will win this ball game.
This seems like to be a defensive struggle for both teams as we're closing in on the first quarter.
So in this heat, conditioning could be a factor. Say you?
Say me. On a keeper, Torres looking for somebody, but there was nobody there as he throws a football into the Cibola bench. So it'll go incomplete and bring up a 3rd and 10. The ball at the 19-yard line.
Looked like he was trying to hit the concession vendor there in Section E, row 17 on the visitor side. But nevertheless, the pass falls incomplete. 16 seconds remaining here in the first quarter. 3rd down and 10. Imperial 3, Cibola 0.
So definite passing situation for Jesus Torres, quarterback for the Raiders. And number 35 in the backfield for him. He's going to take the handoff. 35 is Freddy Hernandez. Freddy Hernandez loses yardage. He'll lose about 4.
So Freddy Hernandez came in as the kicker for the Cibola Raiders, but they've had him in the backfield and also returning kickoffs for the Raiders. So the coach, Stephen Fritz, has almost as many players in street clothes on the Yuma Cibola High School sideline. So he's waiting for their eligibility to be restored. Tonight's ball game is being brought to you by
Imperial Printers, where we are ready to help you with your next project, from business cards to yard signs and everything in between. Give us a call at 352-1300 for a quote or any questions you might have. Located at 430 West Main in El Centro, Imperial Printers. What can we print for you today?
As we get set for the punt from number 6, Zach Stoltz, a 5'8", 160-pound junior, as Seth Shaw awaits the punt.
It's a bad snap. It hit the ground before it came to the punter's hands. And there is a flag. There's also probably roughing the kicker too, Vic.
Well, the ball caromed outside of the 28-yard line of Cibola, which would have given Imperial excellent field position to start the second quarter. But we'll wait to see what head umpire J.J. Jackson has to say. So it is roughing the kicker. It'll be an automatic first down for Cibola as the second quarter gets underway. 11:50, only 10 seconds elapsed on that kick, on that punt play. And the Tigers won the first quarter, John, by a score of 3-0.
So Cibola has the football once again on that penalty by the Tigers, and they'll move the ball right up to about the 31-yard line. So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Raiders at the 31. They're going left to right.
Offensively, they go with Jesus Torres, number 18 at quarterback. He'll be joined in the backfield by Angel Salcedo. His favorite target is tight end, number 80, Alonso Quintero, 6'3", 210 pounds, as he's in shotgun formation. And Freddy Hernandez, the lone back.
Torres on a keeper, rolls out and is sacked way back there by number 23, Naylor.
Jeremiah Naylor, a 5'10", 190-pound senior, John. Outstanding defensive player. And those watching globally, nationally, and regionally witnessed that play and the athleticism of Jeremiah Naylor.
So a loss of about 10 for the Cibola Raiders. They're going to move the ball back inside the 25, maybe. It's a loss of 7, so it's a 2nd and 17.
The linebacking crew, Reeves, Bishop, Shields, and Naylor.
Torres, screen pass. Shoot. Pass is caught, but not much yardage there, Vic.
Well, he was brought down immediately by number 32. That's Pablo Moreno, who wasn't fooled on that play, held his ground. Kudos to the Imperial coaching staff, led by David Shaw. You have Victor Cruz and others.
That screen pass was caught by Freddy Hernandez, but still a couple of yards. It'd be a third and about 15 for the Raiders. Back inside their 30-yard line.
So
right about the 26.
Trips to the near side.
So Torres is sacked again. There is no blocking on the offensive line, giving him time to do anything.
Well, the defensive pressure of Diego Valencia, Wolfgang Horner, and Victor Cesena didn't allow the quarterback, Jesse Torres, to see tall receiver Alonso Quintero, all 6'3" of them running a post pattern from the near side to the center of the field. He was wide open as the Imperial defense was in a cover 2 defense as they split up the field 50-50 with their defensive backs covering, and the middle was open.
Now Schultz will have to punt the football again from his own 15, and he's standing probably close to the goal line. And Seth Shaw standing about the 40, 45. He looks like he'll return it. He catches the punt
to the
40, 45, crossing midfield, coming this way, breaks it.
Picking up the picket fence
And
at the
takes
45,
it
down
inside the 30 at about the 27.
And that was number 23 of the Raiders making that tackle there. Otherwise, that was Emmanuel Ortiz, a junior. Otherwise, Shaw may have taken it to the house, John, but nevertheless, Imperial enjoying excellent field position here with 9:24 remaining in the second quarter.
So Seth Shaw on that punt return gives the Tigers excellent field position to start their series. 1st and 10 from about the 28-yard line. So C.J. Turner and the Tigers will come out, utilize that no-huddle offense. He's got Naylor in the backfield. Turner out of the gun. 3 receivers out to the far side, 1 to the near side. Calls the signals on a 1st and 10. He'll take the snap, fakes the dive, he'll keep it, coming to the left side, and run out of bounds close to the 20, about the 21. So faking the dive to Naylor and keeping the football.
Well, the Naylor keeps the defense honest, but Zach Stoltz making that tackle there as they pushed him out of bounds, and it was a high shoulder pad tackle as they pick up, how many yards? 8 yards. It'll be second and short 2 with 9:18. The ball inside the 20-yard line of the Cibola Raiders.
Almost inside, Vic, as it's at the 21.
Okay, and they're defending the southern goal here at Shimamoto Simpson Stadium.
So Turner and Naylor in the backfield. He's got double formation on a 2nd and short. Gives it to Naylor. Left side, 1st and 10 for Imperial. Move those chains. The Tigers are getting close. They're at about the 17-yard line.
Making the initial contact was Damian Magana, number 32 for the Raiders, a linebacker, but not until Taylor was able to pick up a much-needed first down to keep this drive alive.
So a 1st and 10 at the 17 going in for the Tigers. Naylor in the backfield with Turnin out of the shotgun. Double formation. Utilizing that no huddle. 8:36 in the second quarter. Tigers up 3-0. Hand it off to Naylor. Up the middle. Gets a couple. Wait a minute. He faked me out.
Okay, like
he faked the dive and Turnin keeps it, goes to the right side.
Like a Houdini, Rex Kern for Ohio State in the 1968 Rose Bowl had everybody fooled as he was a deft ball handler at quarterback. And C.J. Turnin, the same, John, as he had you faked out, the refs faked out, and some of the fans here in the stands.
I was keying on Naylor, and Turnin had the ball already down to the 12-yard line.
You know,
so
John,
he's at the 11.
It's easy to key on Naylor as he's such an offensive threat for the Imperial Tigers.
Shaw now in the backfield will turn in out of the shotgun. on a 2nd and short from about the 11. He'll give it to Shaw. A little pitch. Shaw will keep it. Left side. And tries to move it up. He will get close to the first down marker. He'll get inside the 10 to about the 6 or 7.
Running behind the blocking of number 78, Diego Valencia allowed Shaw to get to the outside as he cut back, trying to pick up some additional yardage. It'll be 3rd and a short 1 for the Tigers as they're inside the 15.
Just about 7 minutes to go, second quarter. Tigers up 3-0. Naylor in the backfield. Shaw out of the shotgun. One guy in the slot. Naylor keeps it again. Spins to the right. Gets a first down, so it'll be 1st and goal for the Tigers.
Well, John, the Tigers are keeping the ball close to the vest, keeping it on the ground, and it's a wise decision as they have outstanding running backs in Jeremiah Naylor and Seth Shaw, as well as the elusiveness of C.J. Tieran and his running ability, but he's also a fine passer, John, so you know they may take the wraps off him later in the game.
Well, yeah, you've established that running game. You've got Shaw, you've got Naylor, and you've got Turnin that can run the football, and they're doing it well. So we have 1st and goal, ball at the 5. Turnin and Shaw in the backfield. Turnin out of the shotgun.
The Raider defense being tested early.
Shaw will get the handoff, and he'll take it right up the middle. Touchdown, Imperial. So Shaw from 5 yards out takes a 1st and goal from Turnin and puts 6 points on the board for the Tigers.
Running behind the blocking of left guard, Wolfgang Horner along with center Victor Cesena and Diego Valencia on the right side. They opened up a running lane that you could have driven a semi through. And Seth Shaw, 5'7", 170 pounds, able to use his speed to scamper into the end zone untouched. And so with 6:04 remaining here in the first quarter, the Tigers waiting for Ethan Gonzalez point after attempt.
And it's good. It looks good from here. So it is 10-0 in the second quarter. Tigers over the Raiders.
Remaining here in the second quarter at beautiful Shimamoto Simpson Stadium, the Tigers have raced out to an early 10-0 lead off a 9-yard run by Seth Shaw that was opened up by the offensive line controlling the trenches as we get set for Nathan Gonzalez kickoff.
It'll be a low kick. It'll hit the returner, Schultz. He'll find some running room, and he's going to the left side. He's at the 40, midfield, and heading toward the end zone. Go! He's gone, breaking tackles all the way through. That is number 6. Zach Stoltz takes it back. Touchdown, Cibola on a beautiful return. Kicked it down inside the 5, but was able to pick it up and find a little picket fence here inside the 30, and then just busts it open.
Well, John, that was one of those, how do you like that kickoff returns So the Cibola Raiders respond with 5:45 remaining here in the second quarter to the Imperial scoring run with one of their own, but this one was an electrifying kickoff return by Zach Stoltz, getting the Raiders on the scoreboard for the first time in 2021.
And Freddie Hernandez will try for the point after here for the Cibola Raiders. So a return. Oh, bad snap. Freddie Hernandez will try to make something happen, and he won't. He'll just fall on it, and it'll be 6 points for the Raiders.
That was number 10 of the Tigers, Victor Valenzuela, making the tackle there on Freddie Hernandez. But with 5:45 remaining, the score Tigers 10, the Raiders 6.
Your county supervisor, District 1, Jesus Cachu Escobar, is a proud sponsor of VSN, and as a committed public servant, Jesus Escobar civics and community involvement includes being a board member of the Borders Communities Capital Company. Jesus Escobar would like to thank his constituents of District 1, and he wishes all the Valley teams a great season. By Ojeda Industries, commercial and industrial equipment supplier, Ojeda Industries is proud to sponsor the Valley Sports Network. Ojeda Industries was voted Imperial Valley Press Reader's Choice for the best farming equipment provider in 2019. Located in Brawley, Ojeda Industries is here to serve you. And by Reach Air Medical Service, medical air transport. Patient care is our number one priority, assuring calmness, security, and comfort, recognized for our compassionate, medically effective methods for patient transport. Fast, safe, reliable. Reach Air Medical Service, modern-day heroes. You can count on Donnie Wharton to provide the best service around.
Well, John, with 5:45 remaining, the Imperial Tigers jolted it back into reality after that 80, what would you say, about a 90-yard kickoff return?
Pretty close to that. I would say pretty close to 90. Because he did bobble it inside the 10, so maybe a little more.
Well, he started out to his left, going up the far sideline, and then cut back to the middle, and then he ran between the hash marks to complete that touchdown kickoff return.
And Shaw returns it this time for the Tigers. Finds a little room as he takes it inside about the 40 to about the 38, 39-yard line. So the Tigers now will have to answer to that kickoff return from the Raiders, so it'll be 1st and 10 for Imperial.
Well, leading up to their 10 points, John, the Tigers were methodical on offense, running the ball between the tackles and then getting Seth Shaw to the outside. Pounding the interior of the Cibola Raider defense was Jeremiah Naylor, and utilizing the outside running lanes were quarterback C.J. Tieran and running back Seth Shaw. Let's see if this continued formula provides success for the Tigers here with 5:39 remaining in the second quarter. Imperial 10, Cibola 6. So offensively, they're going with a spread offense, John.
1st and 10 with turning out of the shotgun. But penalty flags are thrown before the play goes off, and it's a false start against the Tigers.
Well, you had number 4, Alejandro Perez, a 5'7", 160-pound wide receiver going in motion. So he's allowed to do that. There must have been some movement on the offensive line. Offensively, you have Ethan Blanchett at one tackle. You have Diego Valencia along with Wolfgang Horner, the guards. The other tackle is Ethan Reeves, and the center at 225 pounds, a 6-footer, Victor Cesena.
1st and 15 for the Tigers. Double for, he's got trips on the right side. Naylor in the backfield. He'll shoot it. Number 1, Jesse Nichols. Passes caught in the left flat, and Nichols will take it down the near sideline. He's got one guy to beat, and he won't do it. He'll be knocked out at the 31-yard line.
That was number 14, Andrew Bertagnoli, a 5'7", 145-pound.
So an outstanding
Senior.
dump and run. Jesse Nichols for the Tigers gives the Tigers excellent field position, and he'll take it inside.
Well, they cross midfield.
The 35, Vic, at the 34.
The 35-yard line as J.J. Jackson and Sal Boxer Carrillo conferring there in the offensive backfield. A stellar officiating crew representing the Imperial Valley Football Officials Association. And John, over the 27 years of broadcasting on radio, we've had an opportunity to work with and call out the outstanding officials that have represented the association over the years.
And they do an outstanding job, Vic.
Mike Anchando, Gary Wyatt, Ralph Cordova, just to name a few.
So a 1st and 10 from about the 33. Turning out of the gun. Naylor in the backfield. He'll take the handoff, go right up the middle, get a couple. They'll move it up to probably about the 25. No, he's at the 35.
Trying to run against the heart of the Raider defense. Number 51, Matthew Hogan, 5'10", 190-pounder. 65, Alejandro Barbosa Zavala, along with defensive tackle Scott Britt, number 28, there to put the stop on Jeremiah Naylor.
Second and about 7 from the 30. Naylor in the backfield with Turnin. He's got 3 receivers to the far side, 1 to the near side. Jesse Nichols is on the near side. Shotgun snap. Turnin. Again, hands it off. No, he keeps it again and pitches to the far side to number 4, running the option, finds a lot of room, taking it inside the 20, inside the 15.
That's Alejandro Perez.
Wow.
A 5'7", 165-pound junior, a wide receiver. Faked me out, John. I was watching Jeremiah Naylor running.
Right, me too. And then before you know it, you see Turnin with the football on the opposite side of the field, pitching to Perez.
Well, not only that, Wolfgang Horner at 305 pounds. That wasn't phantom blocking as he pancaked a couple of players there. And I thought Jeremiah was going to take it to the house. But these 70-year-old eyes, John, have been fooled once. You can't fool me twice, though.
First and 10 from the 12, and it's a timeout. At Arctic Air, we know that having the right people on the job is just as important as choosing the best equipment. Our York-trained professionals provide you with top-quality equipment, skilled installation, and an expert analysis of your comfort needs. Contact Arctic Air Conditioning and Heating at 352-8855, proud sponsor of Imperial Valley Football. At Sanders Incorporated, architecture and engineering is our expertise, a leader in design, development, and delivery. Sanders Incorporated is a proud supporter of Imperial Valley football, and we wish all our Imperial Valley schools a safe and successful season. And the perfect time for you to refinance may be now. Contact Nava Commercial Capital and Real Estate Incorporated. Don't miss your chance to save cash or shorten your loan term. Reach out and discuss these options with George Nava at 760-960-3049. That's Nava Commercial Capital and Real Estate Incorporated. So the Tigers, deep in Raider territory, have a 1st and 10 from the 12. And again, Naylor, we've got to watch him, and we've got to watch the handoff between Naylor and Turnin. 3 receivers on the right, Nichols here on the left.
John, is that Fogs rolling in, or is that the...
That's a carne asada.
Carne asada, okay.
And out of the shotgun snap, Turnin decides to keep the football, run up the middle, gets 2 yards, but not enough.
Being a Cookmaster Supreme, I knew you'd recognize that instantly, John.
Somebody's cooking carne asada. It looks like it's on the outside of the fence.
Well,
so they're tailgating those guys. You see all the trucks along that canal bank that enjoy watching the game from there.
Well, hopefully they have big screens there where they're tuning in on valleysportsnetwork.net so they can live stream it.
So another timeout is called with 3:41 to go in the first half, 10-6. This is a ball game. Tigers over the Raiders. Dippy Duck, IID's official safety mascot, has been teaching children water safety for more than 50 years. Recognizing the need to further educate the youth in the Valley, he recently took on the challenge of promoting energy safety as well. Remember, keep your thermostat at 78 and don't turn on those appliances between 4 and 9 p.m. That's the IID. Johnny's Burritos is a family-run business established in 1963, run by Johnny Palomino and his wife Ana Maria Palomino, an Imperial Valley tradition close to 60 years. Johnny Burritos in Brawley, El Centro, and Imperial. Open Monday through Saturday. Johnny's Burritos. So 2nd and about 8. Turning again, decides to keep and just pounding and pushing his way forward. And he'll take it pretty close to the 5 at the 5-yard line. So 3rd and about 3 from the 5.
Well, defensively, the linebackers that are key for the Raider defense are George Garcia and Damian Magana.
And looks like someone was drawn off sides.
That was Magana, number 32, 5'11", 205 pounds, trying to knife through over the center, Victor Cesena.
So they'll move the ball half the distance to the goal. 3rd and inches. The ball at the 3-yard line.
So they can get a first down inside the 3 then, John.
They can, if they don't make the touchdown, Vic. So 3:16 to go in this first half, 10-6 Imperial. He's got running out of the wishbone now coming out of that formation. Another timeout is called. Havens Landscaping. Havens & Sons Trucking is located at 603 East Main in El Centro and specializing in gravel, rock, and stone for all your landscaping materials and needs. It's Havens Landscaping. Let us know what you need for your next project. Call us at 352-6735. That's Havens Landscaping, proud sponsor of VSN. And by Fred Miramontes, Undersheriff. He reminds you that you can start a neighborhood watch program in your rural area. The Sheriff's Department Crime Prevention Unit can assist you by meeting with you and your neighbors. Call them at 442-265-2000 for more information. Support your Neighborhood Watch volunteers. So the Tigers looking good here in the first half. 3rd and goal with a full house backfield. Looks like the wishbone turning, running. He's going to hand it off to the big guy, number 25 for the Tigers. That is Dominic Suarez. Does he get it? Touchdown Imperial on an extra effort. So the Tigers now up 16-6 as they get set for the point after.
Was that number 25, John? Dominic Suarez? That's who it is, but is that who you saw?
Maybe it was, I think so.
Well, here he is coming to get a drink of water so the fans can appreciate his outstanding run. Helmet off, hair pushed back. He's good to go.
Snap set on the extra point
And
by
that's
Gonzalez
easy.
Lopez. And it's good. It's 17-6 here late in the first half. 3:11 to go.
Well, what do you think of the way Imperial responded to that a little bit of adversity on that kickoff return by Zach Stoltz? Now they've come back and answered on their own with a lengthy drive on the ground, showing their running superiority.
I think that pass to Jesse Nichols when they were in their own territory kind of set the momentum going. And you saw that little dump and run. They were able to set that up because they've been running the ball for the most part of the game.
So Lady Momentum has shifted sides here with 3:11 remaining in the second quarter. Imperial 17, Cibola 6. You've got Stoltz and Freddy Hernandez back deep. Number 80, Alonso Quintero, there to fall on the ball instead of trying to run it back. But nevertheless, playing conservative, playing it safe. And the Cibola Raiders, with 3:07 remaining here in the second quarter, will take over at their own 30-yard line. So you have Benny Carter along with J.J. Jackson there. Make it the 29, John. So they'll be starting off at the 29-yard line. They're going left to right here at beautiful Shimamoto Simpson Stadium. You know, Imperial's really made a lot of improvements and development here to their athletic facilities since the last time we were here.
Yeah, they have, and they've got our halftime guest, Joe Apodaca, will be sharing a lot of the things that are going on with Imperial. So Torres out of the gun. Looking, left side. A man is open and can't quite get to him. The pass intended for number 21.
He was guarded by number 10, Victor Valenzuela, a defensive back there, stride for stride.
So 21 is a number we don't have on our roster. So it was incomplete nonetheless. The Cibola Raiders will try again, second and 10.
I take that back, John. 21 is Isaac Lopez. Let me write that number in.
Okay, so Isaac Lopez. So a second and 10 for the Raiders. The ball resting at their own 29-yard line. Torres out of the gun. He's going to hand it off to Hernandez. Freddy Hernandez going left side. Tries to find some running room. May pick up about 5 yards. Maybe less. So it's about bring up a 3rd and 6 for the Raiders.
So Imperial defensively utilizing their linebackers in Jeremiah Naylor, Aiden Shields, who just had that tackle. He goes at 6'2", 215, only a junior, along with Kai Bishop, 5'11", 190. And Kai, the grandson of John Bishop, the coaching legend out of Brawley.
Torres out of the shotgun and then looking for Stoltz. Goes incomplete.
He threw it behind Stoltz. There must have been a broken pass pattern.
So Stoltz will not go anywhere as the pass was nowhere near him. So 4th and 5 for the Raiders.
Now Stoltz, along with Salcedo, handled the punting duties. But we have number 35 in there, Freddy Hernandez, who's listed as their kicker, as time is called with 2:14 remaining here in the first half. And the South, and it's going to pay dividends in their enrollment in the future as they're going to start getting an increased student population, and as a result, they'll be coming out for these team sports.
Wow, it was a fake punt. I mean,
well,
they looked like they were going to go for it, but they punted nonetheless. There's nobody there to return it, and so it'll be spotted for the Tigers inside the 25. So the Tigers will take over 1st and 10. So we thought they were going to go for it, but just a short snap to the punter, and he lets it go.
So the Imperial Tigers will take over in their own territory. The ball just shy of the 25-yard line, make it the 24. 2:03 remaining here in the first half. The Tigers have raced out to an early 17-6 lead, wanting to add more to their total before they go in at halftime. They're led out of the coach's huddle by quarterback C.J. Tieran, number 6. He'll be joined in the backfield with Seth Shaw, Jesse Nichols, Dominic Suarez, Alejandro Perez, and Zach Ray as they come out in triple formation. No huddle offense, shotgun formation. The lone back is number 24. Is that number 5?
That's Shaw. Nichols on the far side. Turning. No, that's a new receiver, and it looks like we have a new lone running back, number 25. That's Perez, I believe.
Well, number 5 is Andrew Hendricks, a senior.
Suarez, I'm sorry. Suarez.
5'5", 135 pound. Pickup of about 5 yards on the play.
So a 2nd and 4 for the Tigers. Ball at the 30. Turning, looking to the right, shooting the pass. Caught, right flat. Number 25, Dominic Suarez again gets a first down They'll move the chains, and they'll spot it inside the 40 at the 39. No huddle offense, a minute 27 to go, second quarter, 17-6.
Well, the Raiders in a cover 2 defense, not letting anybody get behind them. So Turner looking to throw underneath.
And this time Turner is sacked. And no loss as he went forward, so it'll be a 2nd and 10.
And that was number 7, Leonardo Aguilar, a 5'8", 144-pound linebacker. Looks much bigger on the field, but nevertheless coming from the blind side, from the back, and able to sack Tyrann. So it'll be 2nd and 10.
Turn out of the gun. Shoots it. Pass is caught. Number 4 for the Tigers. That is Alejandro Perez. So Perez gets a first down. They'll move the chains. 1st and 10, 42 seconds to go.
A beautiful pass by Tyrann as he threads the needle there between 2 defenders to get the ball to Alejandro Perez, a 5'7", 160-pound junior wide receiver. So time has been called, John, with 41.2 seconds remaining. If you were the offensive coordinator, what plays would you be looking for?
Well, right now we see Coach Shaw throwing the football, moving up, and he's got an empty backfield with the exception of one. He's got trips to the right.
Well, they're throwing underneath the defensive
and they're doing
coverage.
The same thing, and this time he's looking for Nichols down the near sideline. Overthrows Jesse Nichols. It'll stop the clock with 35.1.
Nichols had a step behind the defender, but not able to catch up to the football as it was overthrown by about 5 yards by Tyrann. But that was a smart throw by C.J. Tyrann to make sure if your receiver can't catch it, no one else can either.
Yeah, and that's what you got to look for.
The worst thing a quarterback can do is underthrow an intended receiver because they're subject to having that pass intercepted.
3rd and 10 at the 48. Trips right. Naylor in the backfield. Rolling out to there. Looking. Pass is caught. And we'll get it up, crossing the midfield to about the 39 on the other side.
28 seconds remaining here in the second quarter.
So a 4th and short for Imperial, and looks like they're drawing the defensive line.
That was number 51, Matthew Hogan.
And a first down for the Tigers.
Only a sophomore in his first varsity action of the 21 season, and understandably anxious to get into the backfield, and he's drawn off sides, so that'll give the Tigers a much-needed first down with that gift of the 5-yard penalty. So it keeps the drive alive with 28.5 seconds remaining. Imperial 17, Cibola 6.
The ball around the 35-yard line, so turning out of the gun, trips to the left side. Naylor in the backfield. Rolling out, turning, looking. Going deep. Is that Nichols? No, touchdown, Imperial, and that was number 4. That is Alejandro Perez running. Beautiful pass in the seam. Is wide open around the 5-yard line and takes the Tigers to the house.
Well, he was split to the right, John, and ran a post pattern and got behind the defense and continued running as Tyrann was rolling out to his left. He was open around the 15-yard line, and fans in the stands were yelling, throw it, throw it. But cool, calm, and collected, C.J. Turner waited till he was completely clear and threw it to the back of the end zone where only Perez could catch the ball.
So Gonzalez Lopez on the point after. It's good, Vic. So the Tigers up 24-6 in the first half have dominated the line of scrimmage here tonight.
Well, that's right. Plenty of time for the quarterback as the offensive line of Blanchett, Valencia, Cesena, Horner, and Reeves providing sufficient time for C.J. Turner, able to scan downfield. He's a 6-footer, weighs 175 pounds, and he waited for number 4, Alejandro Perez, to be completely wide open before launching the football to the back of the end zone. And as a result, with 18.9 seconds remaining here in the first half, Imperial 24, the Raiders of Cibola 6. Tero, 6'3", 210-pound tight end, playing one of the up back positions there on the kickoff return team. So the Tigers were not going to give the elusive Zach Stoltz an opportunity to run back another kickoff for a touchdown, as they wisely decide to pooch kick it, a short kick, the Raiders taking over at their own 36-yard line.
And we're blessed to have good old Mr. Joe Apodaca on the halftime show tonight. Good friend and a great educator here in Imperial.
Ball to Hernandez.
Hernandez will take it up because it gets a couple, and that would probably be the last play unless they can get one off here without a no huddle.
So when did Joe Apodaca slip up here? I didn't see him.
He came up here as soon as the Tigers scored that touchdown there, Perez's touchdown just a couple minutes ago.
So when the home crowd of Imperial rose to their feet, John, to cheer on that play, the elusive Joe Apodaca made his way up.
We'll be back with a minute here after a commercial.
From the Chocolate Mountains to the Sea of Cortez, all along the border on a Friday night, it's exciting Imperial Valley football, brought to you live by ValleySportsNetwork.net, serving the entire Imperial Valley. And tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we're at Shimamoto Simpson Stadium as the Imperial Tigers, after 2 quarters of play, have raced out to a 24-6 lead over the visiting Cibola Raiders out of Yuma, Arizona. Tonight, our featured halftime guest is none other than the great Joe Apodaca, who played football at Central, later went to Kansas to continue his academic and athletic career, and returned home, and eventually Calexico, the Unified School District, was able to land him, and the Calexico High School was fortunate to have him on their teaching staff, and he led the Bulldogs back in the early 2000, between 2006 and 2009, or he can correct me, but the Bulldogs were noted for their character, their tenacious hitting, and their outstanding sportsmanship. So ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to welcome the one and only Imperial High School principal, Joe Apodaca.
Good evening, Vic and John. It's great to be here. I was at Calexico 2004 through 2013. I was there for seven years. That was the longest. Well, actually, this is my 8th year at Imperial. So if I can make it through the 8th year, It'll be the longest I've been anywhere aside from Calexico. So Calexico was my home for 7 years. 3 years as a head football coach and English teacher, and then 4 years as the athletic director.
Well, like Frank Sinatra says, if you can make it there, you can make it anywhere.
Oh, that was a lot of great students, great people, wonderful community in Calexico.
So tell us about the fortunes of Imperial that have transitioned over the years, not only since you've been here, but outstanding pioneers and pillars of the community like Mr. Shimamoto and Mr. Simpson that contributed so much to the development and the support of Imperial athletics. And now you have the Imperial Tigers this generation benefiting from those efforts. You have a beautiful stadium, an all-weather track that you can see. The bleachers on both sides of the field, they're not those wooden bleachers that you would get splinters when you were sitting on. So tell us, what this upheaval for the better, how is it materialized under your leadership?
Well, I mean, I've just been fortunate and blessed to just come in and be part, and as they say, just have a place at the table. The traditions here at Imperial have been established long before Shimamoto, Simpson, and all of our boosters and community members. And it's been a growing town, a growing community, and just very supportive. I mean, if you can look around, when we have a pretty good crowd here, even considering the circumstances. But you know, there's a lot of history here, a lot of tradition, and really a lot of support from our community members. It's a tight-knit community. It is a growing community, but they're always come out for the Tigers. You know, they never let you down. They always come through.
Well, the city of Imperial epitomizes Friday Night Lights, as it's the only game in town, the only show in town, and the community really comes out to support their high school athletics. But Imperial had the likes of Royce Freeman, who later matriculated to the University of Oregon, was an All-American running back. Then he was with the Denver Broncos, and just this morning, or just recently, was released but picked up by the Carolina Panthers.
That's right.
I was fortunate to talk to his uncle, Jimmy Skipper, who was a former offensive coordinator under John Fox for the Carolina Panthers. He has since retired. He was on a road trip with Henry Romero up to Seattle, Washington today to go visit longtime friend Willie Vasquez, who is having some health issues. But I asked him, you know, what does this mean for Royce Freeman and the future of his career? And he had nothing but positive things to say, that it would be a good matchup being with the Carolina Panthers and provide insurance for Christian McCaffrey, I think is the starting running back's name, but who's often been injured because of his reckless, abandoned style of running. He's very athletic, but when you leave yourselves prone to the defensive side of the ball to make a tackle on you like that, you're sacrificing your body. So Royce Freeman, though, more of the durable type of running back. What say you?
Well, I had the when I got to Imperial, Royce had just left, and I had the opportunity to meet him on a couple of occasions. As a matter of fact, he was gracious enough for our class of 2020, where it was a virtual graduation. Victor Cruz, who actually coached Royce, we were able to get a hold of Royce's mother, his family, and he actually sent the class of 2020 a video, and he recorded it, sent it to me. We uploaded it, and he was our surprise guest for the class of 2020. You know, that was a rough year because we shut down in March, and then those kids, their fourth quarter of the school year was pretty much over. But I think Royce is a tough guy. He's tenacious, and I think this is going to be a good move for him. I think it's going to be a great opportunity for him. He's still young in his career, and he's a big, strong guy, and I think it's going to be an awesome opportunity for him.
Well, an individual of great character and very loving of his grandfather, Rob Dorsey, and his family.
Oh, yeah.
And all his aunts and uncles, like James Haley. You know, they all married Robinson girls.
That's right.
And so they have, it's a strong family unit, and you can see where he gets his love for the family and love for life and his athleticism. As we look at this game today, Imperial 3 weeks ago or 4 weeks ago when their opening scrimmage at Lakeside against the El Capitan Vaqueros ended up in a 28-7 victory, even though it was an unofficial scrimmage. They had a bye in the first week, and then last week they traveled back to Santee and took on the tough West Hill High School football squad and lost 21-7 after jumping out to an early 7-0 lead. But now it's like a tale of two cities. Here they've reversed their fortunes on Cibola, leading 24-6 after 2 quarters of play. So what can we look for from this young Tiger squad?
Well, I think Coach Shaw's going to take these kids in at halftime. He's going to talk to them, and they're going to make adjustments. They're going to make some corrections. The score is 24-6, but they're not going to go in there and be satisfied. They're actually, the staff is, I'm sure they're looking at what some of the mistakes that happened in the first half and go in at halftime, make those adjustments and get back out here and just turn up the volume and keep getting after it. I mean, they're not going to be satisfied, and I think they're going to take the momentum and take it into the second half, into the third quarter, into the fourth quarter. But Coach Shaw's done an awesome job with the program. You know, Coach Laguerra was here for several years, did a great job here. Coach Shaw, who's an alumni here at Imperial, who played here, who was actually served as an assistant principal here, and is now the head football coach. And Coach Shaw has an uncanny ability to connect with kids and to connect with people. And we all three of us know that if you can't do that, that's about 90% of the battle. So these kids will run through a wall for him.
Well, not only does he talk the talk, but he also walks the walk. He was an outstanding athlete in all 3 sports, football, basketball, and baseball. He was an all-Valley performer in all 3, the player of the year in all 3, and he was like a highlight reel when he played back in the 90s. But now switching gears to the academia and educational aspect of Imperial High School, the transition in reopening this fall after being shut for the closing months of 2020 and the first 7 months of 2020-21 last year, and with an abbreviated spring season. What's it been like, and what have been some of the challenges when you opened your doors last week?
Well, I'll tell you what, Mr. Carrillo, the teachers, the counselors, the classified team, instructional aides, our district leadership have all transitioned beautifully. It's almost like they make it look easy, but we know it's been difficult. And I think the toughest part has been just adjusting to the anxiety levels and the uncertainty of the pandemic, because we're still very much in a pandemic, but it's just the day-to-day of getting after it on the part of our staff. And I tell you what, we lean on each other, we work with each other, we talk to each other, we communicate to each other. We are a family here at Imperial High School and Imperial Unified School District, and I like to think and know that we work hard to just take care of each other. So it's been a difficult road, but here we are tonight. We got to just take it one day at a time and keep moving forward. So the parents have done an awesome job. They've been outstandingly supportive. The kids have adjusted all through this very adverse climate that we call the COVID-19 era, if you will.
So it's been a coordinated effort and a lot of collaboration and cooperation, because you have those that have chosen for in-home learning. You also have those for the hybrid learning style, and then those students that want to be in person and attending here and coming to the physical plant of Imperial High School to enjoy their high school year.
Oh yeah, we have, right now the state has allowed us to offer face-to-face instruction and independent study. And we have about 25 families that have opted for independent study. Everyone else, about 1,360 students are coming to campus. Mind you, they're coming with a little bit of anxiety here and there, but as we keep moving forward with it, and just the only thing we can control is our own approach to anything. So that's what we're going to try to do, and just be responsive and not be reactive.
Now, trying to get back as quickly as possible to normalcy. Has there been a surprising response to participating in extracurricular activities, or is it what you anticipated or expected for those youngsters coming out for football, those getting involved in other fall sports like volleyball, cross country, and tennis that you might be offering to your student population?
Well, what's really nice is that that we're having a fall season, whereas in the spring or last year, we had one season. It all happened in the spring. So that was tough on them because a lot of kids who play football also play basketball. So we have double sport athletes and tri-sport athletes. So they weren't put in a position where they had to make a choice. And some of them were able to play a couple of them, but that was just what we had to work with. Coming back this year, as of right now, we have a fall season. You know, we're in the beginning of September. It's a Friday night. We have football. We have families. We have concessions. I mean, it looks good. And then just during the week, we had volleyball. And then we have girls golf. And then we have cross country. So it's all happening right now. And then, God willing, we'll move forward with the fall season and then transition into the winter with soccer, basketball, and wrestling. So right now, we anticipated getting a decent turnout. But now, like I said, we're just going one season at a time, one day at a time, 1 week at a time.
Well, that's an excellent outlook, because I'm sure there's collaboration as well with other administrators from other high schools throughout the Imperial County to share positive notes as well as those that raise concerns, particularly for the health and safety of your student population, your faculty, staff, and everyone else that's part of the big puzzle that makes up a high school calendar year.
It's interesting you mentioned that, Mr. Carrillo, because there is collaboration with all the schools and all the other administrators in the Imperial Valley, as well as Imperial County Office of Ed. I didn't make it this week, but we have our CCI meetings where all the principals work to try to meet every Thursday. We started that during the pandemic, and we're working to keep it up this year. Unfortunately, if they're listening, I didn't make it this time because of just day-to-day stuff, but it's on my calendar to make every one of those.
Somebody said present when they called out your name.
That's right. But you know, the entire county has been, it's a very unique situation because all the way from Calexico to El Centro, Central and Southwest, Brawley, over all the way to West Shores, we have Holtville. We're all at the end of the day, we are one community. And when it comes to it, we all count on each other. I call Craig Lyon, I call Jesse Sanchez, Gabby Williams over at Calexico, Doreen Johnson and Denise Cabanilla over at the county. I mean, we all collaborate all the time, and we really lean on each other and if not borrow, steal from each other. So it's a very unique situation, and it's really a blessing to be a part of the county.
As we get set for the second half to get underway, any closing comments, Joe, as far as what's taking place here tonight and what's transpired over the years in your career?
You know, the one thing I'd like to say is I'm just very proud of the entire community here at Imperial and all the way across, getting out here tonight and getting after it and putting on some red and hosting the Cibola Raiders and just having a wonderful night of football. And just be thankful for the opportunity.
Hey, Joe, before Vic asks a question, is that carne asada they're cooking over there?
It's actually hamburgers.
Okay.
That's the Pride of Imperial cheeseburgers, and I got to say they're probably the best on any Friday night.
Okay.
John, I thought you could recognize the vapor rising into the air.
Well, something smells good out here.
Whether it was carne asada, a ribeye steak, or ground beef. But anyway, here I thought it was fog rolling in from the coast. So we were all wrong, except for you, Joe. You're never wrong. You're always right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we featured Joe Apodaca, the outstanding leader of the Imperial High School Tigers here as principal. We wish him all the continued success in this calendar school year. And certainly on the scoreboard, the Imperial Tigers have been successful after 2 quarters of play, leading the visiting Cibola Raiders by a score of 24-6. Joe, welcome. thank you and for graciously participating here in this halftime interview, and we hope to have you back again soon.
Anytime, fellas, anytime. Thank you.
Dippy Duck wants to remind everyone to stay active, play safe, and be cool this summer. Even if you don't have access to a swimming pool, there are plenty of other ways to cool off without going near canals. To play it safe, please remember Dippy Duck's rules. Never swim in a canal, never play near canals, and never jump into a canal. If you see someone fall in, get help or call 911. If something drops in accidentally, let it go. Things can always be replaced, but your life can't. Just stay away, and you'll stay alive.
Meeting, he was telling me that Calexico had an outstanding individual in Joe Apodaca at the time, and he said he was one of the finest young men that he's ever come across. He knew him in high school when he was at Central, and just to see the rise in his career as he's moved from one position to another and what has to be an impressive resume.
Absolutely, and my respects to Joe and the work he's done at Imperial. He himself has established good relationships with his staff, his players as a coach, and with people in general. So a kickoff to Zach Stoltz from Gonzalez Lopez goes into the end zone and is not returned, and so the Cibola Raiders will try it at the 20-yard line on 1st and 10.
Well, that was a wise choice, John, to kick it beyond the reach of Stoltz, as he has a 95-yard kickoff return to his credit, accounting for the 6 points on the scoreboard for Cibola, as they come out under the direction of Jesus Torres, number 18, at quarterback in shotgun formation.
And he's going to hand it off up the middle, but that defensive line for the Imperial Tigers puts a stop on the handoff.
And that defensive line is keyed by Victor Cesena, Wolfgang Horner, and Diego Valencia, and their outstanding linebacking crew of Jeremiah Naylor, Aiden Shields, and Kai Bishop.
So no gain on the play for the Cibola Raiders. It'll be a 2nd and 10 for them back at their own 20-yard line as we start the third quarter of play. And it looks like no time has been taken off the clock, but there should have been. So,
well, let's see if the referee officials crew headed by J.J. Jackson and Benny Carter have taken notice. Now the clock is running. They'll run it down. It's 11:52, 11:51.
So third quarter. Jesus Torres out of the shotgun.
Well, John, how do you
Handoff up the middle, Vic.
Was that number 6?
That's
Stoltz?
number Stoltz. Zach Stoltz will pick up about 4, maybe 5, and will bring up a 3rd and about 5.
Offensively, they go with Alonso Quintero at tight end. The Raiders do Noé Mesa, the left tackle. The left guard is Angel Villanueva, along with Max Perez at center. Clinton McCall and Jonathan Chavez round out the starting offensive line for the Cibola Raiders. Cibola has the ball inside the 25-yard line. They're going right to left here at Shimamoto Simpson Stadium.
Torres. Little play action, grounds the ball, but he was way out of the pocket, and there's a couple of Cibola Raiders who were having a tough time getting up.
That was number 53, Aiden Shields, who was first in the backfield, 6'2", 215-pound junior. And then he was joined by number 55, Kai Bishop, as well as like a tag team in wrestling, John, as they were able to drop Jesus Torres for a big loss.
But there's a penalty flag being thrown right now by referee.
J.J. Jackson, now he was within listening distance of the Cibola huddle.
And he's conferring with his team.
I'm certain it wasn't directed at J.J. Jackson, an outstanding basketball player in his own right, All-State at IVC back in the day.
Well, it'll go against the Bolovic. So they're going to move it back. And
so with 10:54 remaining here in the third quarter, Imperial 24, Cibola 6, back deep into their own territory after Benny Carter, the head linesman, walks off the penalty yardage.
so inside the 10 at about, looks like about the 7, Jesus Torres punt the ball on a 4th and long. And Shaw will pick it up at the 44. Finds a lot of room, gets a good block coming down the near sideline. Touchdown, Imperial! Seth Shaw with a punt return from about the 46 and takes it all the way down the near sideline to put 6 points on the board for the Tigers.
Well, 2 initial blocks, John. One when he received the ball, number 3 for the Imperial Tigers. Devin Mesa cleared out the attack man on the punt coverage team, and then just as he was getting inside the 10 of Cibola, another outstanding block thrown by number 55, Kai Bishop, to spring him into the end zone. But an outstanding display of athleticism by Seth Shaw, giving the Imperial Tigers another 6 points, making it 30-6 as we get set for the Ethan Gonzalez Lopez point after attempt. C.J. Tieran with a hold. Victor Cesena with a snap. Sometimes the no calls are the best calls, right, John?
They got one too many guys on the field. So they'll move the ball up half the distance to the goal and try again. So again, we'll have Gonzalez Lopez for the Tigers, try for the point after, and he'll get it again. So it's 31-6 here in the third quarter. I got some updates for you. University City and Southwest, 54-0, University City. In the second quarter, or at the half, Vincent and El Cajon Valley, Vincent 7, El Cajon Valley 6. The other VSN game being live streamed tonight, it's Palm Desert and Central. I've got Palm Desert 13 and Central yet to score. And then, of course, the Calexico-Calapat game where Calexico is up 23-0 in the second quarter. For the best burgers in town, it's Burgers and Beer at 260 North Imperial Avenue in El Centro, open 7 days a week and serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Burgers and Beer is the place to watch the big game. Great food and great service. That's Burgers and Beer. And by Ivy Welding and Mechanical, industrial welding contractor for all your heavy metal needs. Ivy Welding incorporates welding techniques to build high-quality systems, exceeding clients' expectations. Call Fred Baeza at 482-WELD. That's Ivy Welding and Mechanical in El Centro. A deep kick that will go into the end zone again, and they won't. Cibola will not return it, and the Raiders will get the ball back at the 20-yard line.
Well, Ethan Gonzalez, John, 6'1", 165-pound junior, was an all-valley kicker in the abbreviated season this past spring as a result of COVID-19, and everyone getting a late start a 5-game schedule. Imperial finished 3-2. Their 2 defeats were to the Brawley Wildcats and the Central Spartans as they came in 3rd place of the Imperial Valley League. Calexico came in 4th and Southwest came in 5th. Central taking the championship after they defeated Brawley in the bell game by a score of 28-20. So what you see now, where do you think Imperial ranks in the upcoming Imperial Valley season that'll get underway in October?
Well, they've got to be up in the top 3 because you've got Central, Brawley, Imperial. Those have been the top 3 teams for a while. Intercepted Seth Shaw, the Jesus Torres pass. There's flags all over the place, but Seth Shaw read that perfectly, caught the interception at the 40 and took it inside the 20.
Well, John, when you have an elusive and shake and bake type of runner and changing direction like Seth Shaw, it makes it hard for the teammates to plan their blocks. And as a result, as he cut back to the inside, the Imperial teammate was charged with blocking in the back as a result because the defender hadn't turned yet. And so it nullifies an outstanding gain as Benny Carter, the lines judge, is walking off the yardage and taking away 10 yards from that intercepted pass by Seth Shaw of a Jesus Torres pass to Zach Schultz.
So at 1st and 10, nonetheless at the 35 going in for the Imperial Tigers. And you've got in the backfield C.J. Turnin out of the shotgun.
Sometimes too many moves don't work to your advantage.
That is true.
Like they say, don't put a lot of mustard on the hot dog.
High snap, but he'll make it happen. C.J. Turnin juking right, takes it to the left side, and gets at least 13 yards, move those chains. 1st and 10 Imperial.
Or as they say in Spanish, John, don't put a lot of cream on your tacos.
Okay, echa mucha crema a los tacos. So we have a 1st and 10 for the Tigers on a keeper by C.J. Turnin. The ball will be inside the, looks like inside the 25.
You know, Imperial seems to come up with all these tall, slender quarterbacks that can throw real well. You know, Jordan Reed, Santiago de la Torre, Alvarado.
Hendricks in the backfield along with G.J. Turnin out of the shotgun. Double-double formation at the 25 going in. Rolling out to the near side, looking for a man.
He had him wide open.
Jesse Nichols was there as well as Alejandro Perez, but he couldn't connect.
I think I put the curse on C.J. Turnin there when he had a wide open receiver in the end zone, and all he had to do was just toss it out there where he could catch it, but he underthrew him.
So 3rd quarter, 9:20 to go. The Tigers are up 31-6. And they're faced with a 2nd and 10 from the Cibola 25. So Turnin and Hendricks in the backfield. Double-double formation. Or he's got 3 receivers here to the near side. 2nd and 10. Hendricks bumps into Turnin, but Turnin still makes something happen as he finds a lot of room going to the right side. Takes it inside the 10, 1st and 10. Move those chains up, pick up a 15 for C.J. Turnin and the Tigers.
An excellent quarterback keeper on that play as he slipped and slid, hesitated, and had the timing of the defenders off guard and out of balance as he's able to slice his way through the defensive secondary of the Raiders and taking the ball to the 10-yard line. So it'll be 1st and 10.
That's 1st and goal, Vic, inside the 10.
Inside the 10.
So C.J. Turnin with Hendricks, double-doubles. Nichols here to the near side. Dropping back. Rolling this way. Turnin looking and throws a pass. It looks like it's intended for Perez. Goes incomplete.
Intended for Alejandro Perez, a 5'7", 160-pounder, and he threw a laser there, and Perez couldn't hang on. So the pass falls incomplete, It'll be 2nd and goal from the inside the 9-yard line, inside the 10.
Inside the 10, it's 2nd and goal, so they'll get another chance. With Nichols and Pettis here to the near side. He's got Hendricks in the backfield.
You know, the efficiency and efficacy of this Imperial offense.
Swat is split out to the left.
Is very impressive here early in the season.
So Turnin will run the option, keeps it left side, finds a lot of room and takes it into the end zone from 10 yards out. Touchdown, Imperial. So another keeper on C.J. Turnin finds room to the left and just runs the option, decides to keep.
Well, he was able to sidestep the defensive line and outside linebacker Damian Magana on that play, and even though he had a trail back that was open, Turnin keeps it himself and is able to put another 6 points on the board. So a 9-yard touchdown scamper for C.J. Turnin as we get set for the Gonzalez-Lopez point after.
And it is good. So it is 37-6 in the third quarter, 8:20 to go.
John, what would you speculate Gonzalez's kicking range if he had to kick a field goal?
The rule of thumb would be anything inside the 30, they would go for it. Maybe anything inside the 35.
And that's good for a high school kicker.
Yeah, because if inside the 30, it gives it a 47-yard field goal attempt.
And it could be a game breaker in
It
the
could
end.
be.
Tonight's ball game is being brought to you by
Marianne Valenzuela State Farm Insurance, your agent in the Imperial Valley, specializing in auto, home, business, property, and more. And with over 20 years of experience, Marianne will help figure out what coverage you need to take control of your financial future like a good neighbor. She's located at 122 Main in Brawley. Call Marianne Valenzuela at 344-0447 by Top Notch Barbershop at 317 Wake Avenue in El Centro. Open 7 days a week, Monday through Saturday, 8 to 9. Open Sundays 8 to 5, where our regular haircuts are always $20, and Wednesdays is our $15 special. Military and senior discounts offered every day. Top Notch Barbershop. Gonzalez Lopez.
And Zach, no, it's not Zach, it's number 2. That's Chauncey Negrete, a junior.
And he'll try to take it up the field to about the 20. So Chauncey Negrete will have the ball spotted for the Cibola Raiders at the 20-yard line.
So Cibola offensively will be led by Jesus Torres. He'll be joining the backfield with George Garcia and Angel Salcedo, along with Jack Stoltz and Isaac Lopez, and the occasional Freddy Hernandez. So they're starting deep in their own territory at their own 20-yard line. They've got to go 80 yards to reach pay dirt as the tough and vaunted Tiger defense, led by linebackers Jeremiah Naylor, Aiden Shields, and Kai Bishop, will have something to determine the success of the Raider offense on this series with 8:12 remaining in the third quarter.
1st and 10, Jesus Torres and the Raiders. Torres on a quick pass across the middle, number 80. That is Alonso Quintero. Will pick up 10 yards, probably a first down. So that's a completed pass from Torres to Quintero here. 1st and 10. They'll move the chains for the Cibola Raiders.
Alonso Quintero, 6'3", 210-pound tight end, running a post pattern over the middle, and with a 3-step drop, Jesus Torres was able to find him right between the numbers of the 8 and the O. So first down, the ball at the 30-yard line. Raiders going right to left on your screen. Tigers defending the southern goal.
So Torres dropping back, looking over the middle. Pass is caught. Number 22, there's a penalty mark. That's number 23, excuse me.
That is Emmanuel Ortiz, a junior receiver, hit immediately by number 55, Kai Bishop.
And somebody's down.
It might be the quarterback, John. It might have been a late hit. We'll have to watch the replay.
Yeah, it looks like it is. Jesus Torres, the quarterback.
We'd like to thank all our viewers on valleysportsnetwork.net, here live streaming on YouTube, and a special thank you to Will Torres along with Ron Rubio.
Eric Swain.
And Eric Swain. And also to Rowena Carrillo for preparing our stats for us and our stickers. And don't forget Panchito Garcia.
Whippy Duck wants to remind everyone to stay active, play safe, and be cool this summer. Even if you don't have access to a swimming pool, there are plenty of other ways to cool off without going near canals. To play it safe, please remember Dippy Duck's rules. Never swim in a canal, never play near canals, and never jump into a canal. If you see someone fall in, get help or call 911. If something drops in accidentally, let it go. Things can always be replaced, but your life can't. Just stay away, and you'll stay alive.
VSN Valley Sports Network, the source for Imperial Valley Sports, featuring Bulldog Media. We welcome you back to Shimamoto Simpson Stadium with the voice of choice, John Moreno, and this is your color commentator, Vic Carrillo, here bringing you live action with the Imperial Tigers hosting the Cibola Raiders. If you just joined us, ladies and gentlemen, with 7:18 remaining here in the third quarter, the Tigers have raced out to a 38-6 lead. Currently, we have had an injured player, the quarterback, Jesus Torres. So we'll find out who they'll be bringing in as the backup to take his place as the ball's been moved out to midfield on that late hit on the quarterback.
Looks like number 8. That is George Garcia now in the quarterbacking position. He'll take the snap. He's going to hand off the football to Freddy Hernandez. Going to the right. Doesn't get much room and is met at the line of scrimmage. No gain.
Trying to run behind the blocking of Noé Mesa along with Angel Villanueva. A pickup of less than a yard on the play as you had Victor Cesena and Wolfgang Horner in there for the stop.
So a gain of 1 for the Raiders. The ball at the 49. And the Raiders under center. So out of the gun. George Garcia again handing the football off to Freddy Hernandez. Again, the same thing. Going to the right, getting a couple, and coming up with a third down.
Jeremiah Nader along with Seth Shaw and Devin Mesa in there to make the stop. A short pickup on the play. It'll be third and about 7 for the Raiders. The ball at the 47-yard line of the Tigers on the far hash mark. As we have number 74 of the Tigers coming off the field. That's Daniel Medina.
Good number. Third and about 7. The ball at the 47. George Garcia. George Garcia will keep, goes up the middle, doesn't get it quite the first down. He'll be shy about 2 yards, Vic.
Not a busted play, but there seemed to be uncertainty there as he put the ball in the belly of Hernandez. Hernandez said, here, you take it. I don't want it. And so Garcia tried to turn it upfield. He picked up a couple of yards, but just shy of a first down by 2 yards. So it'll be 4th and 2 with 4:52 remaining here in the third quarter. The ball at the 42-yard line of the Tigers. They're not going to punt, so
they'll try those short punts. So 4th and short. Garcia keeps it, runs it, gets the first down as he'll take it inside the 35 to about the 33. And he'll pick up good enough for a first down, maybe more than 10.
That was Joel Villacampos, a 5'11", 160-pound sophomore, making the stop there as David Shaw substituting freely among his Imperial Tiger football team.
So George Garcia out of the shotgun. Again, another keep. Do the same thing. Jumps up, gets 5.
It's kind of like
6.
Like the Wildcat offensive formation, John, where the running back takes the quarterback position. And
that's what it's been the last couple of plays, Vic.
You know, Billy Kilmer back in the late 50s, early 60s, made that famous at UCLA.
In the late 50s?
The late 50s.
So the Wildcat offense has been around for a while.
Freshmen weren't allowed to play varsity football then. And he's the one that was instrumental in ending the career of Bill Watson at quarterback at UCLA after their freshman season, based on the talent and success of Billy Kilmer, who later played for the 49ers.
So again, the quarterback keeper this time met at the line of scrimmage and flags being thrown in that direction of the tackle.
That was number 64 for the Tigers, Manuel Cardenas, a 185-pound senior defensive lineman.
So we'll see what the call is. It's a holding penalty against the Raiders. So it's a 10-yard penalty. For the most in-depth local and regional news and the best high school sports coverage around, check out the Calexico Chronicle and the Hauteville Tribune, in print or online, at the all-new CalexicoChronicle.com, chronicling our community border region and beyond since 1904. So they're moving the ball back. It'll be a 2nd and about 14 at about the 36-yard line.
Well, John, would like to give a shout out to our sideline reporter, a journalist, intern, Alejandra Zaragoza, a student of Southwest High School, getting her first game experience here.
George Garcia, again, quarterback keeper, just running up the middle. And he'll pick up 10 yards, but still shy of the first down marker. So putting a stop there, number 36.
That was Joel Villacampos. Only a sophomore, 5'11", 165-pounder.
George Garcia still under center, or out of the shotgun, I should say.
Shotgun or Wildcat formation.
That's what it is. And again, he'll take the snap and keep it and finds room this time, gets a first down and more, and he'll take it inside the 20 to about the 18, 17-yard line.
Well, you know, in the pregame warm-ups, I had an opportunity to meet with head coach Stephen Fritz of Cibola. Spent 13 years as an assistant coach for Cibola under Lucky Arvizu, and then this is his 3rd year at that in the helm of head coach. And he was indicating that we would see a lot of George Garcia with Yeoman work-like duties, and it's evident tonight here in the 3rd quarter.
Does your license plate frame say Robinson Ford, offering you an inventory of both new and used vehicles? Robinson Ford sales is at 1777 North Imperial Avenue. Give them a call at 760-357-3141 for the best-selling cars in the country. Come and check out the new Bronco for 2021. And have you earned your varsity letter? Well, get your Letterman jacket started today. Call LettermanandBros.com at 760-693-5400 5034. Ask for Dan and get your Letterman jacket started today at Letterman's and Bro. And Imperial Printers, we're ready to help you with the next project, from business cards to yard signs and everything in between. Give us a call at 352-1300 for a quote or any questions you might have. Located at 430 West Main in El Centro. Imperial Printers, what can we print for you today? So, a little over 2 minutes to go in this third quarter, 38-6, Imperial and the Cibola Raiders inside the 20 on a 1st and 10.
Well, George Garcia has carried the ball almost every down, John.
And he's going to carry it again, Vic, as he's just pounding his way up the middle.
And that was number 55, Kai Bishop, who made initial contact with him after he was 2 or 3 yards past the line of scrimmage. So it'll be 2nd and a long 4 for the Raiders. And that Garcia is taking a pounding because, those type of tackles hurt. Not the open field solid hit that you think that are crowd pleasers. And here he goes again as he stands up the Imperial run defense as he picks up several tough yards. There may be a measurement, or did he get a first down?
He got a first down, Vic. He'll move it inside. It looks like it's inside the 10.
So he picked up 5 yards on that play as he has single-handedly brought the Cibola Raiders, after the injury to quarterback Jesus Torres. George Garcia, the running back, was switched over to the quarterback position, and they've been running this Wildcat formation where he's just carrying the ball. He gets it snapped. He's 5 yards back, like in shotgun formation, and just running on sheer ability.
And that's all he's doing. He's just pounding it up the middle, Vic. Just takes the snap and just runs up the middle.
They used to
he's
call
going to
that
do it again.
Smash mouth football.
And he's doing it again, this time the left side. And he's getting positive yardage just about every time he does that. So he's about a yard within the goal line now. It'll be 2nd and goal from possibly the 1.
Well, running over the area of number 62, Jose Apodaca, a sophomore, 5'10", 290 pounds, making that tackle there.
And he may make it this time.
So the Imperial Tigers have a lot of depth and talent on their defensive interior front 4.
And that's the end of the third quarter, Vic, with the score: Tigers 38, Raiders 6. Need a job? Do you need to hire someone who needs a job? Give Keystone HR a call at 357-2929 for all your staffing needs. They specialize in payroll services, part-time and full-time staffing, workers' comp insurance, healthcare, ACA compliance, and much more. Keystone HR in Calexico is a proud sponsor of Imperial Valley football. And by the Dom Team Real Estate Company, serves the entire Imperial Valley with a full array of services, limited not only to residential, but including farmland, commercial, and industrial ground. For honest and reliable real estate advice, it's the Dom Team Real Estate Company at 337-8600. Your County Supervisor, District 1, Jesus Cachu Escobar, is a proud sponsor of VSN. As a committed public servant, Jesus Escobar's civic and community involvement includes being a board member of the Border Communities Capital Company. Jesus Escobar would like to thank his constituents of District 1, and he wishes all Valley teams a great season. And by Ojeda Industries, commercial and industrial equipment supplier. Ojeda Industries is proud to sponsor the Valley Sports Network. Ojeda Industries was voted Imperial Valley Press Reader's Choice for the best farming equipment provider for 2019. Located in Brawley, Ojeda Industries is here to serve you. And here we go with a second and goal now on the other side. Left to right going in. The Cibola Raiders a couple of yards out from the goal line. And they're going to give it to guess who? George Garcia. And he takes it in from a couple. Touchdown, Cibola.
Well, that effort was all George Garcia as far as running the football was concerned. But let's give credit to that offensive line. Noé Mesa, Angel Villanueva, Max Perez, the center, Clinton McCall, and Jonathan Chavez that opened up running lanes just wide enough for George Garcia, a 5'11", 190-pound running back who's seen action as the Wildcat quarterback here, John, single-handedly taking it upon himself and putting the team on his shoulders and willing the way into the end zone.
And we have some updates we'll give you right now. They're going to go for two. And again, out of the shotgun with George Garcia. And he'll take the snap and try to pound his way up the middle. They're pushing him forward, Vic. Does he get it? Yes, he does. A two-point conversion from George Garcia. Takes it, and it's been the George Garcia show ever since Jesus Torres.
Well, there's no mystery to what the offensive formation would be to the Tigers. And as a result, George Garcia said, this is what we're going to run. Here I come. Try to stop me if you can.
Reach Air Medical Service, medical air transport. Patient care is our number one priority, assuring calmness, security, and comfort. Recognized for our compassionate, medical effective methods for patient transport. Fast, safe, and reliable. Reach Air Medical Service, modern-day heroes. You can count on Donnie Wharton to provide the best service around. That's Reach Air Medical Service. And by Arctic Air. At Arctic Air, we know that having the right people on the job is just as important as choosing the best equipment. Our York-trained professionals provide you with top-quality equipment, skilled installation, and the expert analysis of your comfort needs. Contact Arctic Air Conditioning and Heating at 352-8855, proud sponsors of Imperial Valley football.
Well, John, after a scoreless third period by the Cibola Raiders, they're able to crack into the end zone at 11:53 of the fourth quarter on just the will and power running of George Garcia. So we get set for the kickoff, a new kicker, number 63 for Cibola. That is Clinton McCall, a 5'10 senior. And back to receive, we have number 5.
Number 5.
And that's
Suarez.
That is Andrew
Hendricks. Sorry, that's Andrew Hendricks.
A 5'5", 135-pound senior.
And it'll go out of bounds, and so we'll see it at the 35. I've got a couple of updates. We have the Palm Desert Aztecs and the Central Spartans in the third quarter. Palm Desert 40, Central 14. And in the University City Southwest game, in the third quarter, University City 68 and Southwest 0. Thank you, Kurt, at KXO 1230 AM.
Well, University City and Southwest Defense is a powerhouse in San Diego. They produce a lot of Division I football athletes, and both in the skill positions as well as the offensive and defensive lines. And Central, after going undefeated in the spring season and the previous season, as we get to see this run by number 5, Hendricks.
Hendricks takes it from the 35 to midfield, a pickup of 16. They'll move the chains and spot it inside, right at the 49-yard line.
After winning their first game last Friday in San Diego now find themselves at the short end of a score and maybe seeing their record fall to 1-2.
First and 10 double-doubles. Reese Vindiola now handing off to Hendricks. Finds a lot of room again right up the middle. Picking up 10 yards there on the play by Andrew Hendricks.
Reese Vindiola, a 6'1", 160-pound freshman, here seeing some action as the Tigers, with a lead of 38-14, are starting to empty the bench and bring in the reserves to give them some playing opportunity.
And they blow the whistle before the play even got started.
And sometimes that might be attributed to the youth in the offense here. Oh no, the chain gang hadn't moved.
Right, so now it's officially a 1st and 10. I guess they didn't measure it correctly, so they've got to move the chain. So 1st and 10. The ball inside the 40 at the 39, 38. So 1st and 10 for Cibola with Reese Vindiola out of the shotgun. Andrew Hendricks in the backfield, double-double formation. Reese Vindiola rolling right, looking for Hendricks, finds him, dump and run. Hendricks will break a tackle, take it up, crossing the 40. It looked like he's right there, a couple yards forward.
Well,
a lot of east-west running.
You had Alex Purnell, a 5'6", 152-pound outside linebacker, making the initial contact on Hendricks, slowing him up before the defensive backs were able to come and wrap him up, that being Isaac Lopez and Andrew Bertagnoli.
Hendricks in the backfield. Vindiola takes the snap, gives it to Hendricks. Hendricks running this way. He's quick, he's shifty, he's fast, and gets knocked out of bounds inside the 30 at about the 25.
Number 21, Isaac Lopez, making the stop, but not until Hendricks was able to pick up a first down.
And so they'll spot the ball, looks like around the 27-yard line. So 1st and 10 for the Tigers. 9:53 and counting, fourth quarter, 38-14. And timeout is called on Cibola. At Sanders Incorporated, architecture and engineering is our expertise. A leader in design, development, and delivery, Sanders Incorporated is a proud sponsor or supporter of Imperial Valley football, and we wish all of the Imperial Valley schools a safe and successful season. George Nava of Nava Commercial Capital and Real Estate Incorporated tells you it's the perfect time for you to refinance. Don't miss your chance to save cash or shorten your loan term. Reach out to discuss your options. George Nava can be reached at 960-3049. He's there to help you out. Nava Commercial Capital and Real Estate Incorporated. Dippy Duck, IID's official safety mascot, has been teaching children water safety for more than 50 years. And recognizing the need to further educate the youth in the Valley, he recently took on the challenge of promoting energy safety as well. So keep your thermostat at 78 and don't turn on those big appliances between 4 p.m. and 9 p.m. Remember, please stay safe around canals.
John, that's when I do my laundry.
Well, you're going to have to find a different time, Vic, early in the morning. So, 1st and 10, the Imperial Tigers with Reese Vindiola out of the shotgun, double-doubles. He's got Andrew Hendricks in the backfield. 9:48 to go in this football game. The Tigers are looking good tonight. Vindiola calls the signals, will take the snap. Give it to Hendricks. Hendricks barreling his way up the middle, and he'll pick up 5, maybe 6. So Hendricks on the handoff, moving the ball forward for the Tigers.
He was brought down by number 23, Emmanuel Ortiz, the middle linebacker, but Hendricks adding to the stable of fine running backs of the Imperial Tigers. They've already shown Jeremiah Naylor along with Seth Shaw, to name a few, their running ability in the first half to set the lead for the Tigers here.
2nd and 5 from the 20. Reese Vindiola in the backfield with Andrew Hendricks. Vindiola Takes a snap, looking left. Pass is caught. Number 4, rolling. That is Perez, I believe.
Alejandro Perez, a 5'7", 160-pound junior, gets inside the 10.
And you get a first and goal, Vic, at about the 5. Inside the 5 at about the 4.
So once again, the young Tigers knocking on the door.
With the reserves in town.
With Cibola.
So Reese Vindiola, first and goal. He's got trips to the right, takes a snap, decides to keep, and he'll take it up, but not get there just yet.
Not able to escape the clutches of number 21, Isaac Lopez. So an outstanding defensive play by Isaac Lopez as the young freshman quarterback, Reese Vindiola, 6'1", 160-pounder, taking the place of C.J. Turnan.
And he'll take the snap, give it to Hendricks. Hendricks finds some room. Did he take it in the end zone? No, he didn't. He's about a yard shy, or maybe even less than that. So Hendricks takes the handoff from Vindiola. And it'll be third and short, third and short.
And the Raiders with a goal line stand here, John, with 7:30 remaining in the fourth quarter. They find themselves down by a score of 38-14, but they want to cut into that lead.
Hendricks get the snap, and he's pushed back. So Hendricks couldn't get it, and now faced with a fourth down.
And that was number 23, middle linebacker Emmanuel Ortiz, once again making his presence felt. So it's a fourth and a long 3.
And Turnan's coming in the game. They may look like they're going to go for the punt or go for the field goal again.
Right, because you have Ethan Gonzalez Lopez,
number 13.
coming in.
So if the
it'll be like an extra point attempt.
It'll be an 18-yard field goal, if that. So an 18-yard field goal coming to you here in the fourth quarter.
Gonzalez, a soccer-style kicker from the right side.
And splits the upright, so it's now 41-14. Johnny's Burritos is a family-run business established in 1963 by Johnny Palomino and his wife Ana Maria Palomino. An Imperial Valley tradition close to 60 years. Eat what you love. Johnny's Burritos is located in Brawley, El Centro, and Imperial. Open Monday through Saturday. Johnny's Burritos. Havens & Sons Trucking is located at 603 East Main Street in El Centro and specializing in gravel, rock, and stone. For all your landscaping materials, it's Havens Landscaping.
Stay active, play safe, and be cool this summer. Even if you don't have access to a swimming pool, there are plenty of other ways to cool off without going near canals. To play it safe, please remember Dippy Duck's rules. Never swim in a canal, never play near canals, and never jump into a canal. If you see someone fall in, get help or call 911. If something drops in accidentally, let it go. Things can always be replaced, but your life can't. Just stay away, and you'll stay alive.
The sun was in our eyes as we're out in front of the press box. There wasn't enough room for us as Ethan Gonzalez booms another kickoff into the end zone.
Ethan Gonzalez, a junior for the Tigers. What was the call by our referee? Was
encroachment?
I think it was a false start, perhaps.
But John, this is high school football, Friday nights at lights at its finest. You've got the row of cars on the canal bank behind the visitor section, all there watching the game. They have their favorite chair and favorite beverage in hand, and they're here witnessing an outstanding offensive performance and defensive performance by the Imperial Tigers.
A deep kick. It'll be fielded inside the 5, dropped and picked up by number 2.
Chauncey Negrete.
Negrete should have let it go as they'll spot it right about the 12, 13-yard line.
Well, Johnny's a junior. It's the first game of the season. He wants to see some action. He didn't come to be a spectator.
So it'll be Cibola Raider ball back at the 13-yard line with 6:15 to go in this football game, and the Cibola Raiders are down 41-14.
Well, they had instant success behind the Wildcat running of Gabriel Garcia. Let's see if the quarterback, Jesse Torres, who left the game as an injury, because of an injury, is coming back in.
Otherwise, it'll be George Garcia all the way down.
And it looks like Garcia is there standing in shotgun formation.
And he's going to do the same thing he did the previous series, and this time gets no gain, maybe a yard on the gain there.
Well, John, he looks like those old school runners and football players. He brought his lunch pail, his work boots, and he just came to say, "Put me in, coach, I'm ready to play." Well, John, it truly has been one of those from the Chocolate Mountains to the Sea of Cortez kind of nights. Here is
only in the Imperial Valley, Vic, only in the Imperial Valley, where football is king. 2nd and 9, George Garcia out of the gun. I'll give you one guess what he's doing. He's going right up the field, keeping the football this time. Met at the line of scrimmage, no gain. Listen to the Que Pasa Calexico podcast for candid conversations with many of Imperial Valley personalities. Jose Alejos has been hosting the podcast for over 5 years and has interviewed people who have ties to the Imperial Valley. Stay tuned for the next Que Pasa Calexico with Jose Alejos. Learn, grow, and make the Imperial Valley a better place. So 4:48 and counting, and a 3rd and long for the Cibola Raiders.
So, John, you're a math wizard. 4:41 remaining. The score's 41-14. What would you call those numbers?
Reciprocals, right? So a handoff this time. No, not a handoff. The shotgun snap to George Garcia will go left side, up 11 yards, 10 yards for a first down.
And reciprocal numbers mean nothing to George Garcia as he bowls his way out to the 25-yard line. It took a horde of Tigers to bring him down.
So it'll be a 1st and 10.
He's a hard-running running back for the Cibola Raiders.
Around the 25-yard line, Vic.
Well, every time he touches the ball, John, positive yardage results.
There he goes. George Garcia on the keeper. Between guard and tackle, picks up 5.
And there's no element of surprise of what the Cibola Raiders are going to do. He's running between the tackles, behind the blocking of Mesa, Villanueva, Perez, McCall, and Chavez. And they're going mano-to-mano combat. And right now they're controlling the line, the trenches as they're combating with the inner defensive front of the Imperial Tigers led by Wolfgang Horner.
Now they're at the 31-yard line on a 2nd and about 6. George Garcia will, again, keep the football, go to the left, tries to turn it upfield, and maybe get a couple. So it'll be a 3rd down now, and the clock will be ticking down. Under 3 minutes now.
Well, you know, they've had Leonardo Aguilar, a 5'8", 145-pound wide receiver, split out to the near side, and he's been guarded by the Imperial Tigers, number 5, Andrew Hendricks. It wouldn't surprise me if Garcia decides to take the snap, initiate a 3-step drop, and have number 7 Aguilar run a fly pattern.
George Garcia on the keeper. This time gets a first down, finds a lot of room, dragging people with him, crossing midfield to the 45. Could have broken away, almost did. But
well, that was a hustle of Hendricks, who left the coverage of Aguilar here on the near sideline, sprinted across the field to make that tackle, and a touchdown-saving tackle it was.
So a 1st and 10 for the Raiders at the Imperial 45-yard line.
Now into the ball game for the Imperial Tigers, number 18, Saul Gomez, a 5'10", 170-pound senior. So he'll be at one of the outside linebacking positions, as it's a cover 2 defense.
George Garcia.
Employed by the Tigers.
And out of the shotgun snap, they call a timeout. La Resaca has the absolute best Mexican-style seafood chavelas and, of course, best clamatos anywhere. Try the Sonora Fusion in El Centro for the best cuts of aged beef. La Resaca at 221 Campillo Street in Calexico and in El Centro at 6th and State. We've got about 1:20 to go after this timeout, Vic, and it looks like it's Imperial's game in the bag. They've shown some flashes of greatness today, both running and throwing the football. They've got a good arsenal in the backfield with Shaw and Naylor, and of course their quarterback Turnin, and of course you bring in the freshman quarterback Reese Vindiola and Andrew Hendricks. So David Shaw, Coach David Shaw looks everybody healthy, everybody's doing their jobs and responsibilities. So 1:20 to go, 41-14, fourth quarter, Imperial. Trying to get some scores and updates from the other schools. And I'd like to get a Calexico score if anybody has one. And so it looks like George Garcia will take a knee. And just let the clock around, Vic. This is it. This looks like it's a Imperial victory. The butter's getting hard, the jello is jiggling, and the eggs are chilling.
That's right. A shout out to Chick Hearn of the Los Angeles Lakers that made that saying famous as he brought in Showtime. And don't forget, he put him in the popcorn machine, John.
That's right. Slam dunk was one of his
and the dribble drive.
The dribble drive. So an outstanding game by the Imperial Tigers tonight here at Shimamoto Simpson Stadium, where tradition is very much alive for the Imperial Tigers.
Well, the Imperial Tigers rebounding from a heartbreaking 21-7 loss last week against West Hills of Santee. The Tigers come back and with a resounding 41-14 victory over the visiting Cibola Raiders in their opening game of their season. As shout out to Stephen Fritz, the coach of Cibola and his staff, along with David Shaw and his coaching staff here at Imperial. A very well played game, very well officiated by Sal Carrillo, Benny Carter, J.J. Jackson, and associates. John, this was a pleasure to announce a football game of this quality here this early in the season.
No, exactly. You know, you saw Imperial execute the football. They were right there where they needed to be. Everybody was doing what they were supposed to do out there. They were following directions, and you know, I didn't see mental mistakes on part of the Tigers. I mean, they were just playing like mid-season, you know.
Well, the Tigers didn't let themselves get down initially when some of their plays weren't as successful as planned, but once they got into their rhythm and started controlling the tempo, the Tigers were able to take off, as we see the legendary Mr. Dale, who's probably going to complain about us taking a table and taking out his walking space here. Mr. Dale, you're doing all right for a 39-year-old. Okay, we'll add 2 years. Here you go. I'll hold the table and you can make it. There you go. It's like walking on a slip and slide.
Hippie Duck wants to remind everyone to stay active, play safe, and be cool this summer. Even if you don't have access to a swimming pool, there are plenty of other ways to cool off without going near canals. To play it safe, please remember Hippie Duck's rules. Never swim in a canal, never play near canals, and never jump into a canal. If you see someone fall in, get help or call 911. If something drops in accidentally, let it go. Things can always be replaced, but your life can't. Just stay away, and you'll stay alive.
Vista, about an evenly ranked team with them. So that should be an interesting game for the Imperial Valley next week as our teams play their opponents. And tonight it was Imperial all the way. Imperial just showed class, they showed discipline, and they were on it tonight.
Well, their game plan was to keep the ball on the ground. They were methodical in the first half as they picked up 4, 5, 8 yards on every carry, and they were able to bolt out to an early lead. And as a result, the running of Jeremiah Naylor and Seth Shaw, as well as their quarterback, C.J. Turnan, who we know is a good passer, but they elected for him to use his athleticism and his running ability to put points on the board for the Imperial Tigers. Any standouts in your mind, John, that you saw here in this ball game?
Well, I saw Seth Shaw running the ball extremely well. He was there on defense, and a lot of these skilled positions for the Imperial Tigers go both ways. And you need him out there playing defense and playing offense. They're aggressive. They're around the ball, and even the lines look good. So there was a real balanced attack on part of the Tigers tonight, and we saw that. It was evident. We saw that at a few weeks ago when we were doing the kickoff classic against El Capitan. The Tigers came back in the third quarter and really pounded it to them. And again, they were looking like a disciplined team.
Yes, they won that one 28-7 in an unofficial score because it was a scrimmage. But the other thing, John, here the Tiger defense, keyed by their linebackers, Jeremiah Naylor, Aiden Shields, and Kai Bishop. You know, they're backing up and supporting their outstanding defensive line, and it's difficult for any team to move the ball on them. Though George Garcia in the fourth quarter, when he took over for injured quarterback Jesus Torres, he was a one-man gang and wrecking crew for the Cibola Raiders running game as he willed his way and bowled his way into the end zone after 6 consecutive carries of the football.
He was a workhorse tonight after the injured Jesus Torres was taken off the field. George Garcia, they knew he was coming, and he knew he was getting the ball, and Imperial just, tried to stop him the best they could. But he's a big boy, and he was just kept pounding and pounding, and I'm sure that the offensive line was giving him some holes, some gaps for him to run through. So it was interesting to see who they had to fill in for their quarterback.
It was nice to see good old-fashioned smash-mouth football.
Well, we'd like to thank, first of all our listening audience, and of course our halftime guest, Joe Apodaca, principal of Imperial High School and alumni of Central Union High School. Again, like to thank our program director, Will Torres, and our Valley Sports Network, our technician tonight, Eric Swain, and our cameraman, Luis Panchito Garcia, and of course, our newly hired correspondent student intern, Alejandra Zaragoza, and of course, the sponsors who make our broadcast possible. Join us next week from the Chocolate Mountains to the Sea of Cortez, all along the border on a Friday night, when VSN, the Valley Sports Network, the source for Imperial Valley Sports, will travel back here to Imperial again for the Imperial Valley Center game. Again, tonight's final score, Imperial 41, Cibola 14. For Vic Carrillo, this is John Moreno of Bulldog Media bringing you live coverage of Imperial Valley football, saying good night on VSN, the Valley Sports Network.